Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Monday, a nice start to the week. I hope everyone had a good Mother's Day weekend. Again, it was warm. It was sunny. Again, it was not a bad weekend, again, for any outdoor activities. Again, we really need rain, though. And it's starting to kind of get to a little bit of a tipping point for us where things are going to get really dry here really fast. And so the forecast as we head into this week, starting off with more kind of hot, dry conditions, and that's kind of what we want to touch on here as we kind of jump into the forecast here to start your Monday morning. Wanted to start with a look at our average monthly precipitation here in the capital city. Again, for the year, it's just short of 30 inches when you add it all together, but you'll notice May is our wettest month of the year on average, that 30-year average running from 1991 to 2020. So we average almost 5 inches of rain just this month, and again, we're nearly halfway through the month, and we are well short of where we should normally be, not only for the month of May, but for the first 4.5 months or so of the calendar year here in the capital city. So if we look at our sort of weather calendar, again, not only has it just been a very warm start to the month of May for us, through the first 11 days, we've seen 9 days with above average high temperatures, including the last 8 consecutive days. And then you have 1 day where we had below average back on May 2nd, 1 day right where we should be. Again, our normal high temperatures through the first, again, half of May are generally right in the lower 70s. Again, between about 70 and 75 degrees or so, and we've been pretty far above that number over the course of the last week or so. Again, 88 officially for a high yesterday, up to 90 degrees on Saturday. And again, we're going to be close to that number again as we head over the next several days. And again, really the thing we're paying close attention to is this number when it comes to the moisture. Only 2 days so far this month with any measurable precipitation here in the capital city, the first 2 days of the month. And again, that just totals up to 21 hundredths of an inch of rainfall so far this month. So we're already about 1.5 inches below normal for the month, and our deficit continues to grow. And again, when you have May, when you average almost 5 inches of rain for the month of May, let's see, you're supposed to be getting about 0.2 per day. So again, that number is going to keep growing up pretty quickly. So if you look at the precipitation departures for the year, for the season, and for the month, again, they're growing precipitously. And now for the year, more than 4 inches below normal for our rainfall for the meteorological spring season, which is March, April, and May. Again, our wettest 3 months of the year. Again, we're almost 3 inches below normal, and for the month of May, about 1.5 inches below normal. And so again, we saw the drought monitor last week. We're now the entirety of the state is covered with drought. Again, posted that on my Facebook page, and again, a lot of people were claiming and exclaiming that the drought monitor wasn't saying that it was dry enough, that a lot of areas are even drier than what the drought monitor is saying. And so we really could use some moisture, and unfortunately, while there is some chances, I don't think really a ton of meaningful moisture is in the cards for us as we head into the upcoming week. So more warm, dry weather as we start the week. As we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we are going to be looking for some breezy to windy conditions. That wind's going to be kicking up a little bit, and then eventually, by late this week into the weekend and even into next week, we are going to be looking for some cooler temperatures to finally arrive. Still likely going to be above average, especially as we head through the end of this week, but potentially seeing maybe more below average temperatures as we head into early and middle parts of the work week next week. So that is something to look forward to. Again, I would always rather have it cooler than warmer. That's just my own personal preference. So again, I've already got a good sunburn from this weekend, again, being outside with the kids. And so I would personally prefer it just a little bit cooler than warmer. And it looks like some cooler temperatures, at least briefly, could be in the forecast as we head into early parts of the work week next week. Now, as far as low temperatures this morning, again, not a bad start to our day across much of the state, upper 40s, low 50s. Valentine, though, I'm not sure if that's quite right, but the sensor up there says the low this morning only dropped down to 69 degrees, 62 in Chadron. So warm start to our Monday for some parts, but overall not too bad for most of the state. On the Tempest weather stations across town, it was upper 50s and low 60s, including right at 60 degrees for a low this morning at the 1011 studios. And right now, plenty of sunshine across the state. Again, hardly a cloud out there. And again, a pretty comfortable start to our work week for us. Already into the upper 60s at the Lincoln Airport as of 9 o'clock, and already into the lower 70s here at the 1011 studios with a light south wind at around 7 miles an hour. One thing we can say, even though it has been fairly warm for us over the course of the last week, it hasn't been overly humid, so it has been fairly comfortable. Dew points, again, look like they should stay fairly comfortable for us over the next couple couple days, sitting comfortably right around 50 degrees this morning. Current temperatures on the Tempest stations across town in the Lincoln Metro, upper 60s, low 70s, again including 72 at the studios. And across the state, it's low 60s to low 70s. Chadron right now, the warm spot at 73. And again, that Valentine sensor has gone offline. So again, I wonder if that low temperature reading maybe was from late last night or something like that. But 73 in Chadron is the warm spot, 70 in Beatrice right now, 67 in Grand Island, and 65 in North Platte. Dew points are comfortably in the 30s, 40s to right around 50 degrees, and winds aren't too bad, but they will be breezy today, especially for central and western sections of the state. I don't think eastern Nebraska has too much wind to deal with today. There'll be a little bit of a south breeze at times, but overall it's not going to be too bad for us. Satellite radar picture, really nothing to see. Plenty of sunshine out there if you look at the visible satellite imagery. Again, there's really nothing. There's a few clouds kind of here and there, but plenty of sunshine as we start our Monday. If you go back to the satellite and radar picture, regional view, we do have some showers off to our south and off to our east as an area of low pressure kind of rotates its way through parts of the southeastern parts of the country. So we may see a few clouds kind of drift our way from that activity as we head through the day today, but really looking at plenty of sunshine across the state for our Monday. You zoom out, look at a national view. Again, you can see some of the shower and thunderstorm activity stretching from parts of, again, southeastern Missouri all the way down to the South Florida area, all part of the same system as an area of low pressure kind of spins its way through that region. Otherwise, again, weather is fairly quiet across most of the country this morning. If you look at the weather alerts, again, we do have some flood watches across parts of Alabama over into the Carolinas and Virginia. We do have, though, a number of red flag warnings across the central and upper plains, again, including here in Nebraska, across central and western Nebraska. A combination of dry conditions, again, which we've already touched on, but the breezy winds today will lead to critical fire conditions. So again, we've already seen some pretty bad fires already this spring, and again, we have that burn ban in place for some parts of the state. So again, any fires that do start today could get out of hand pretty quickly. That red flag warning will kick in later this afternoon, running through 9 p.m. this evening. We also do have a winter weather advisory and winter storm watch for, again, parts of the higher elevations across parts of northern Wyoming and into parts of Montana, as they are expecting at least the potential for a little bit of snow. Again, if we look at that winter storm watch, that's from 11 p.m. Tuesday to 11 p.m. Wednesday, and they could see, again, maybe a couple feet of snow. That would mainly be above 8,000 feet, but again, those mountain areas still looking at some snowfall possible over the next several weeks. Meanwhile, again, we have the dry and breezy conditions. So if we check out Skycast through the day today, not a whole lot for us to see. Again, I think we're going to see plenty of sunshine as we head through our Monday. Again, not much in the way of any cloud cover or any rainfall potential for us for the day on Monday. Again, into this afternoon, more sunshine, a little bit of a breezy south wind in eastern Nebraska, but even stronger south wind across central and western sections of the state. Towards 10 o'clock tonight, that wind will begin to settle down. We'll see skies remain mainly clear, and then as we head into the day on Tuesday, again, kind of more of the same, but I do think we see maybe a little bit more wind in the eastern sections of the state. Could see winds gusting as high as 25, maybe 30 miles an hour at times into Tuesday afternoon out of the south. Into Tuesday evening, we'll start to see at least a chance maybe for a few spotty showers, isolated thunderstorm across the western sections of the state. Again, I don't think that would be really anything significant. Any activity we do see would be pretty isolated. And then as we head into the day on Wednesday, again, we're looking at more of the same, warm, hot breezy conditions across the state ahead of a cold front that will be moving into the area, and that front, again, could bring in some thunderstorms as we head into Wednesday late afternoon, evening time frame across parts of northern and northeastern Nebraska. We'll check that out in just a second. If you check out the precipitation potential over the course of the next week, next 7 days, again, this does look better than it did last week when it really had nothing for us. But again, most of the rainfall over the course of the next week looks like it's either going to fall one of two places. One, it's going to be across the northern plains, across much of the Dakotas, again, into the higher elevations. There we talked about that snow in parts of Wyoming and Montana. Again, that could be a decent amount of moisture, and then a lot of moisture again down to our south and to our east. And again, we're kind of sandwiched in between those two areas. where we're thinking there could be some heavier moisture, but at least, looking at the potential for at least some moisture across much of the state as we head over the course of the next 7 days, which again is better than what we just went through over the last 7 or 8 days or so. So if you look at the severe weather outlook for the day today, really nothing for us to worry about here at home. For the day tomorrow, again, there could be an isolated thunderstorm in parts of western Nebraska, but nothing severe expected. And then into the day on Wednesday, we do have a marginal risk for severe weather across the north central and northeastern parts of the state, kind of getting close to Lincoln and Lancaster County, so we can't rule out maybe a few isolated severe thunderstorms into Wednesday late afternoon, Wednesday evening as that front kind of sweeps its way through the state. So if we zoom in, take a closer look, statewide view, skycast through the day today, sunny, hot. Again, it'll be breezy for central and western Nebraska, not as much so in the eastern half of the state. And then as we head into the day tomorrow, again, more of the same, sunny and hot, but we'll see more wind across the eastern sections of the state, maybe gusting 20 to 30 miles an hour at times. Again, maybe a spotty shower, isolated rumble of thunder in the western sections of the state through the day on Tuesday. Really nothing all that meaningful, though. And then as we head Tuesday into Wednesday, that front begins to move in from the west. And so, again, ahead of that front, we'll still be hot. We'll still be breezy to windy on Monday, and then into Wednesday, and then into Wednesday, late afternoon, early evening. North central, northeastern Nebraska, we're going to watch for the potential for some showers and thunderstorms that could be on the strongest severe side as we head, again, late afternoon into the evening time frame. Best chance is going to be across northern, northeastern Nebraska, but we will see a chance here in the capital city for at least some showers, some thunderstorms, I think Wednesday night. So that'll be a time frame we'll keep a close eye on. And then as that front finally works its way through, we'll finally see some cooler conditions behind that into the day on Thursday, although Thursday does look like it could be pretty windy throughout most of the day. So particularly that upper level pattern, we're going to see a lot as we head over the next week or so. Kind of ridgy right now, which has led to the warm and dry weather, that low that we see, kind of that cutoff low down across the southeast. That's what's bringing some of that rainfall, again, stretching from parts of South Florida into parts of Missouri. But overall, see a little bit more of a trophy pattern emerge as we head into late this week, turning to a little bit of a zonal pattern into the weekend, and then becoming a little bit more ridgy as we head into at least early next week. But then by early next week, we see again another trough across parts of the western U.S. That's going to set the stage for hopefully against more active weather as we head into the early and middle part of the work week next week, and it will eventually bring in some of those cooler temperatures that I touched on at the very top of the segment, eventually seeing some of those below average temperatures return to the area as that trough makes its way through the area. But again, still have a long ways between now and then, and a lot of warm and dry weather to get through before we get to that time. So high temperatures today, again, basically where they've been the last several days. We're looking at upper 80s, right around 90 degrees for your highs this afternoon. Hottest readings will be in the northwestern corner of the state. Chadron could reach the mid 90s this afternoon, low 90s in Valentine, upper 80s right around 90 for Ainsworth and O'Neill. Here in Lincoln, we'll say 89 degrees for the day today. Low temperatures tonight into early Tuesday morning, dropping down to the 50s to near 60. So again, those are above average. High temperatures Tuesday, maybe a degree or two warmer, but we're basically looking at the same upper 80s to right around 90 degrees for highs on Tuesday. Into Wednesday morning, it's mid to upper 50s and low 60s to start the day. Wednesday afternoon, we can start to see some of that cooler air begin to push in from the west. So highs ranging from the low 70s in the Panhandle to the low 90s across parts of central and eastern Nebraska, including 91 here in Lincoln, 90 for the Tri-Cities, mid 80s for North Platte, and mid 70s for Scottsbluff for the day on your Wednesday. Into Thursday morning, low 40s to the low 60s from west to east, and then cooler, but still a few degrees above average, especially for eastern and southeastern Nebraska by Thursday. Highs anywhere from the low to mid 60s in northern and western Nebraska, into the mid to upper 70s for the Tri-Cities, into the upper 70s and low 80s across the southeastern corner of the state. So you'll see on the 7-day forecast, again in Lincoln, warm and dry today, breezy tomorrow, but highs basically right around 90. Same on Wednesday. Then we will see that small chance at least, but it's a chance. Wednesday evening, Wednesday night for some showers, thunderstorms. Again, best chance for the severe thunderstorms looks like it'd be across northern and northeastern Nebraska. And then behind that front, cooler, but still a few degrees above average for us into the upper 70s, and windy on Thursday. Again, could see winds gusting as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour for the day on Thursday, then dry and fairly comfortable on Friday, upper 70s, and then the upcoming weekend looks like it'll basically stay there into the upper 70s, right around 80 degrees, and small chance again into the weekend, and that will carry over into the first half of the week next week for some moisture. across the state. Again, as that second upper-level trough kind of makes its way across the central plains, that will continue those rain chances across the area. So again, warm and dry over the next several days, but then at least a little bit cooler kind of for the second half of the forecast. And if you look at the 10-day forecast for select cities across the state, you can actually see temperatures by maybe midweek next week into the upper 60s, low 70s for most of the state. So again, that's some of those cooler temperatures that I was talking about. Those would be the ones that are kind of right in my wheelhouse that I would prefer. I know some people prefer the 80s and 90s, but again, I'm probably more of the 60s and 70s for my own personal taste. So that's the temperatures over the next 10 days. So again, you can see the warmest conditions likely going to be over the next several days. First half of this week. Dew points, though, look like they should remain fairly comfortable for us as we head over the course of the next 10 days. And then those rainfall chances, again, pretty sparse, at least over the next day or two. Small chances then Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday's the day we'll watch for those severe thunderstorms, especially across the northern tier of the state. Friday looks mainly dry. Saturday also looks mainly dry. But then Sunday and then through the first half of the week next week looks like it could be a little bit more active for us, which, again, we would absolutely take. We desperately need some moisture across the state, and hopefully can keep our fingers crossed. It's still more than a week away, but that could be in the cards maybe this weekend into early parts of the work week next week. This also looks different compared to what we've seen really for the first almost half of May. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center favoring below average temperatures. This takes us from May 19th through May 25th. Not just below average temperatures for us, but for much of the sort of northern tier of the country, from the Great Lakes down into the Central Plains, and also continuing to favor wetter than normal conditions as well, which, again, we've seen this before, and we've still been left wanting. So we'll keep an eye on it. But again, the forecast does maybe look a little bit more encouraging, seeing some cooler weather and hopefully some wetter weather in the forecast. But again, that's likely not going to arrive until maybe late this week into the work week next week, because again, today, tomorrow, Wednesday, still looking at hot and dry conditions for the most part across the state. But again, there is maybe some relief both in terms of cooler temperatures and wetter conditions in the forecast, maybe heading our way early next week. But again, that's still a long ways away. Still have plenty of time for things to change, either for the better or for the worse. So again, make sure you keep it tuned to the forecast over the coming days. Again, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest forecast details. Until then, hope everyone has a nice start to the work week and has a nice Monday.